So here's the case of my new computer build. I went with the Bitfenix Prodigy. This isn't the M version, this is just the ITX version. And so I picked this because small footprint, I'm kind of tired of larger cases, so this is kind of in between of, I mean it's moderately large for ITX build, but it's more the size that I'm used to. So maybe eventually I'll go even smaller. So I picked the black version. I kind of like the black color scheme. Interior wise I may go a red color scheme or a white or gray color scheme. Haven't quite decided yet. So far I'm kind of on the fence of this case. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it, but as far as build quality and aesthetics, I thought they'd be a little better. So first off, with all the reviews that I read, I didn't read anything about the side panel rattle. So let's see if I can make this happen. So I mean basically, yeah, there we go. So it just rattles a lot. So when you move it, when you plug something into the USB port, it's going to rattle. Obviously the wobble is just because of the flexible handles. That doesn't bug me that much. And it's by design apparently. That's Bitfenix said that it's completely by design, so don't worry about it. But the side panel rattle is just like, that to me is completely unacceptable for how much this case costs. And so I'm gonna have to come up with a way to kind of sound dampen the side panel. I mean, it has thumb screws everywhere, which are great. They're a plastic thumb screw, which is surprising to me that I'm just used to metal everything. So it's got a screw in the middle, but then it's all the handle parts for your fingers are plastic. So to me, that's kind of cutting corners. So panels are extremely rigid. This is something that the reviews did mention, that, I mean, they're just incredibly rigid, which is very impressive. But so the rattle happens with this part right here. I'm assuming this part is not clamping onto the inner part of the case well enough, and so there's a gap, and that's why it rattles. So whether you bend this a little bit to give it a better clamp, or you put some type of foam or tape, or I have some gaffer's tape that I might put on there and see if that'll dampen the sound. So I don't know. So that's my biggest gripe with this case, but overall I think it will suit my needs very well. So that's with that side panel off. I'll take the back panel off and we'll get an idea of the full size of it. I haven't really even looked at this case too much since it showed up in the mail. So yeah, it's small. Obviously ITX boards are quite small. I've got my power supply for it, so it goes down there. I'll be replacing the fans that are included with some Corsair Quiet Series fans, although I hear that these Bitfenix fans that come with this case are actually quite good, but I'm going for silence, so if they're too loud for me I will replace them. My plan is to take out the 5¼ inch bay as well as this middle hard drive cage thing. I will only use these two as well as the screws on the bottom of the case, so you can mount one to the floor of the chassis, and then I'll have 2 more drives in these. That's my plan for now. I may have a cleaner setup in a later date, I'm not sure. So we'll just see where the cables route to, and trying to make this as clean as possible and good for airflow. So these two will come out, that will stay in. Front fans, I'm planning on having 2 140s in the front. And then I also have an H100 or I have an H60, and I haven't decided which one I want to use for it. So the H60 would mount on the back and exhaust out the back, or the H100 would mount to the top and it would be an intake from the top. So I'm not too worried about exhausting the radiator heat out of the case for an H100. I mean, honestly, the processor, even with overclocking with an H100, it's not that hot, so it would just be an intake, or sorry, oh, I'm actually saying that wrong. So it would be an exhaust, sorry. So I was thinking of a different case that I was thinking of. So yes, the fans would exhaust out the top. And so yeah, either H100 or H60, both would exhaust. Intakes would obviously be in the front. And so top is filtered, which is good. The power supply is also filtered, which I appreciate that. It's just the little things of filters. The front, it's not like an easy removable filter. It obviously can be cleaned and can be removed, but it's just not as easy as I would like. So hopefully I can get used to that. I really do like quick removable filters that I can quickly clean and put it back in my system and not have to, you know, take side panels off and blow out all the dust and stuff. That kind of gets old, but I've been doing it for years, so whatever. So the back, 2 slots for a graphics card, and so I'll have a graphics card there. Still undecided which one I will get, because sometimes I just cannot justify the price of, you know, where your graphics card pretty much costs just as much as the entire build itself. And I know lots of people that game and stuff will think that I'm crazy, but honestly, I enjoy money more than I do graphic quality in gaming. So if I can find something that's perfectly good enough for me, then that's great. So yeah, there's your motherboard area, power supply area, fans, graphics card. Yeah, so there's that side real quick. Both these trays can be swapped directions, so you can have your drives facing either direction, which I think is nice. All removable drives, in my opinion, should be able to be interchangeable. So, and then there's the front. Mesh front. The black version has the mesh, where all the other colors, I believe, are a solid front, and so people don't like those most of the time. They look good, but they don't. A lot of people don't like them because of airflow. So black is, I've heard, is kind of the favorite. Although I do really like the look of the solid front. So, and I don't think it suffocates the fans that much. So anyway, that's kind of a summary of the case that I'm building in, and once more parts come, I'll do some more reviews of the parts, and then we'll start getting all the parts built inside the case, and we'll start testing everything, make sure everything works. So thanks for watching another one of my videos. See you next time.